All right, shares of Apple right now a little bit lower, but the stock hasn't moved a ton. We had that initial bounce and gave some back. Right now trading at 237.82. Ben Bajarin's with me, CEO and principal analyst at Creative Strategies. Ben, all right, were we too hard there on Apple earnings? Because it did kind of seem like a little light for a stock that's trading near its most expensive valuation in history.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main critique, right, as everybody's brought up, is the expectations was this was an overly strong holiday quarter. I know you and I have talked about this a lot. I've never believed that that there was a super cycle coming, but I know everybody seemed to believe in that strategy. Obviously, right, the quarter was big, best quarter ever, right, in terms of a record. Services was strong, and I think the big question is at a fundamental level. The narrative being they have the largest installed base, right, of anybody on the planet. They have a sticky and loyal ecosystem. It doesn't appear anybody's leaving, right? We're just waiting for signs that we can get more predictable upgrade cycles that lead to some growth. And I think we'll see that at some point. But again, I never believed that AI was going to be the magic driver of this cycle.
Okay. Is there a driver of this cycle powerful enough to surprise the market when China's dragging on the other end?
Yeah, I mean, I think the China dynamic is really interesting. I think if you look at the past couple of quarters, companies that have been indicative of what's going on in China, both Qualcomm and MediaTek, I think have shown that that the market there was actually favoring local players, increased competition. The other thing that's been going on in the Chinese economy we've been watching is they've started to subsidize the sales of phones, so more help and aid in buying those things that typically hadn't been in China. That dynamic is favoring local brands. So definitely competition increasing there. I think again, right, the main thing that's always been tried and true with Apple is design changes. So hardware features, hardware redesigns, those drive cycles, right? Not so much software. And so I think to your question, right, not in the short term, but what does Apple have coming with new releases? There's a couple of new kind of mid-tier price devices, upgrades to iPhone SE, and then again, if they do something drastic this fall with design, I think that could be the thing that moves cycles. But I know that's right farther off than this quarter or next quarter.
Okay. Okay. So right now, who's the marginal buyer? Is it the millennial cohort in America? Is it the younger Gen Z who wants the AI for Apple? I mean, is there a major draw for them right now that's going to keep sales up? Because I mean, they're negative right now for the iPhone numbers. It's pretty amazing to see that.
Yeah, I think again, right, the dynamic of upgrade cycles is really what's at play here, right? They're not adding, a double-digit percentage of new consumers, right? Every quarter. I think they keep wanting to point out their device installed base, their active installed is growing. At what percent, we don't know, but it's growing. I think that's an important point to show they're getting new customers. Again, they're not leaving those customers. And it's just a matter of when do people feel like they need to upgrade. And barring, right, something drastic, you're just going to upgrade when you feel like your phone is slow or you need an upgrade. So we're not seeing a pulling dynamic. We just see a base with an aging iPhone. iPhones are quality. They last a long time. So you have people out there with 4- and 5-year-old devices perfectly happy. It just continues to go, innovate and convince those customers to upgrade, and then maybe shorten the elongating cycle of the device lifestyle. And those dynamics, they're just not there yet.
Okay. So then it sounds like they need an ace up their sleeve. Ben, what can they do if you had the ear of the team at Apple? What would you say?
I mean, I think there's two things, right? I think they know that iPhone innovation is necessary, right? I think you hear, speculation about some form factor redesigns, things going on with the screen. That's all great. I think the other part too is, right, Apple is also, and I think many guests on your show have, talked this up. Well, it's a sum of the parts story. It's all of the things. It's what's going on with Mac, which stays steady. What's going on with iPad, services continues to grow. Their ecosystem continues to expand. So yes, iPhone's a big factor. It drives its monetary upside drastically, but I think there's a lot of the sums of those parts that do well. Services does really well, and let's hope they have a couple new product surprises up their sleeve for this year, because that's the thing. I come back to hardware drive cycles, hardware innovation drive cycles. That's tried and true. And this industry, they've historically been very good at it. And I think hopefully they've got some of those tricks up their sleeve this year.
All right, Ben, thanks for being here. Good perspective, good voice. Appreciate it.